Back in 2008, I was lucky enough to get a 5-hour tour of the 309th Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Group, known as AMARG, at Davis Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona. My purpose there was to have fun, and boy did I have fun. And being an Aussie, I specifically loved these F-111s, and I spent the majority of my time walking around grabbing all of these photos. Now, I don't want to mince words here, but as distressing as these photos are, at least there are photos now of these aircraft, because I can almost assure you that every single one of these aircraft in these photographs that you're now looking at are now thoroughly scrapped. Hopefully one or two may have made their way to museums over the course of the time, but as you can see, most of them won't be anything more than razor blades. Now, the United States Air Force had ceased flying the F-111 by the time these photos were taken. The Australian Air Force was really the only other operator of the General Dynamics F-111 and was still operating them, and a lot of these aircraft in these photos were actually designated as spare parts for the Royal Australian Air Force fleet of aircraft. Sadly, I didn't take enough notice of which ones were which, so I have absolutely no idea of these photos which ones were for spare parts for Australia. Maybe some of you gurus out there that can check the serial numbers that you can see in the photos can probably give me a little bit of an idea, so I would like to know. If you're able to shed any light on any of these, that would be very much appreciated. The storage of F-111s at the Boneyard did raise environmental concerns due to the presence of hazard materials such as asbestos, lead and polychlorinated biphenyls or PCBs. These concerns obviously led the Royal Australian Air Force to ultimately bury their leftover retired F-111s in a big hole in the ground at RAF Base Amberley a few years after they retired in 2010. So one positive I can take out of this is that when I was travelling around America 10-15 years ago, over the course of the duration of all the places I visited, I photographed any aircraft I could, whether it be in a boneyard, a museum, sticking on a pole in the middle of the side of the road. It was because of this that I come across two F-111s, one of them at Port Haley's in New Mexico, and the other one just outside of Clovis Air Force Base, also in New Mexico, which I stumbled across by accident. Taking those photos, I stuck them on the web, and unbeknownst to me, they became evidence for some Australian committee to prove that the aircraft could be safely displayed in a public location. And I understand that from that, those two photographs helped save a few F-111s from being buried in the ground, and there are a couple of different museums around Australia at the moment. So I hope you've enjoyed this array of photos that I've compiled for this video, and feel free to wipe away a tear if you feel. But if you like this photo and you want to see more future, please like and subscribe.